Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Dungeons & Dragons animated series, Diana. Long time coming. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here we go at the top. Nice little hook hole. 40, because we've been waiting 40 years for animated Dungeons & Dragons figures. Dungeons & Dragons. There's the roller coaster, or thrill ride, dark ride, whatever it is that sends them through the portal to the world of Dungeons & Dragons. Nice artwork of Diana there. Assortment number 4 and up. Hasbro print. Plastic-free packaging. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Diana. There's a die. A 20-sided die, if I'm not mistaken. And then, nice product shot of the figure. And then you can see in the background, like, there's the portal and the rails going off the rails. And here on this side... focus... Diana is known for her acrobatic talents and carries a javelin that can launch her high into the air. And there it is in some other language. Parents, scan this! D&D, playdnd.com. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole. I probably covered that already. Don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. And then here on this side, again, nice artwork of Diana. And on the back side, Diana, Dungeons & Dragons, nice digital render. It comes with this stuff. Cross sale of Bobby and Hank. Figure to scale. Each figure sold separately. And then here we have small fine legalese print made in Vietnam and China print. Symbols I'm not going to learn. A barcode. Recycle stuff. Made of recycled stuff. Plastic free packaging. Symbols I'm not going to learn. And Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and her accessories. And first up, we have the die. And I do like the swirly twirly colors on here. So that's pretty cool. Now let's take a look at her bow staff, or baton, or, you know, its energy. It grows out of nothing, hardly. And usually is a, you know, she uses it like a bow staff. But here's the regular one. Or at least I want to say it grows. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen this dang show. And then here's one that's got like an energy effect on it where she's can twirl it around. So that's pretty cool. And it's, you know, it does have a little bit of a paint app on it here to give it like that spinny energy looking glow. Let's take a look at the figure herself. And I have to say, overall, it's nice looking. I can't say that to me it 100% looks like the animation, because it doesn't. There's something about the face is not quite right, and it could simply be the transition from a 2D, you know, drawing to a 3D object, and that could be what it is. But she does have lots of nice paint apps here and here. And I'm not sure if this or the skin is a paint app here on the torso. And then we've got this and gold band here. So it's still a very nice looking figure, even if it's not, at least to me, my opinion is it doesn't quite 100% look like the animation. And honestly, a lot of this line looks that way. So as far as our articulation goes, she can't really look up because of the hair. She can look down that far. And it is on a hinge with a long post and a ball at the end of it, which is, anyway, it is what it is, I suppose. It's not very good. But she does have chicken neck. She does have some waggle. She can do the full Exorcist. 360 degrees rotation at the shoulder. And she can raise it up. We'll go ahead and call that 90 degrees. It might be a little more. But for an acrobat, it looks like she should get a little more range of motion. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow. And it gives you approximately a 90 degree bend and 360 degrees of rotation. 360 degrees rotation at the wrist as well on an in and out hinge. And the other side is an in and out hinge as well. Cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet. Gives her all kinds of hula. 360 degree rotation. She can lean left and right. She can lean back that far and crunch forward that far. Nothing at the waist. At the hips, she can give you that much of the splits. She can kick forward that far. Back, not very far at all. Nothing in the thigh. Double hinged, pinless, I almost said pinned, pinless knee. At the upper shin, there is a boot cut for another 360 degree rotation. At the ankle, tilts down that far, so that's really good. Up slightly and forward facing pin for rocker. And as far as any storage for her accessories, she can hold the staff. And that is about it, my friends. There we have it. A look at the figure and her accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the entire line of Dungeons & Dragons classics with Dungeon Master, Bobby the Barbarian, Uni the Unicorn, Diana the Acrobat, Sheila the Thief, Hank the Ranger, Eric the Cavalier, and Presto the Magician, with their main villain, Venger. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Dungeons & Dragons classics, Diana the Acrobat, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Dungeons & Dragons classics, Diana. I think there was just a lot of missed opportunities in this line. I know I should be talking about this figure individually, but it's hard for me to do that when the entire line is a bit on the disappointing side. You know, the likenesses I can kind of understand. but just, I don't know, the materials feel flimsy. The whole line just feels like an afterthought, and that it was just in place. Oh, we'll prey on these people's 40 years worth of nostalgia for this cartoon because there's a movie coming out. And you know, there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, when things like that are done, that's the reason they're done. But this one just seems blatantly like that, in my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. You may love this line, you may love this figure, and I don't have a specific problem with this figure. I want to say this figure is probably one of the better ones in the line, sculpt wise and articulation, although I think there are some missed opportunities with articulation throughout the entire line. I don't think they should have the hinge and swivel elbows. They should have had the double hinged pinless elbows throughout the entire line. And same thing, you know, for the knees. Should have been double hinged pinless throughout the line. There was a few that didn't have. They only had single hinge and swivel. But it's just a shame that for figures that we waited, at least those of us who grew up with the cartoon, you know, we waited 40 years to get figures of these characters, and quite frankly are just disappointing. And I can see why this line isn't continuing. Number one, you know, I think there was a lot of excitement over the new Dungeons and Dragons movie for one, and that died out pretty quickly. And it just, I don't know. As mainstream as Dungeons and Dragons has become, it's not as mainstream. It's not mainstream enough to support a line. I don't know. Maybe the plan was just only doing the main characters from the animation and calling it quits to begin with, but it just feels like there was a missed opportunity here. And I think this line could probably still be continuing had they provided us with figures up to the task of living up to the 40 years of waiting for them. I think they could have done a much better job. And you know, guys, usually if you watch my channel, you know I'm not a negative Nancy for the most part. You know, here and there I might find some issues with some stuff and call it out, but for the most part I enjoy the things that I collect, and I'm not just gonna crap all over everything. But this line is just, it's not great, it's not good, it's barely adequate, and it truly just makes me sad. And I'm sorry, because it just, we waited so long for these, and to have them be disappointed. Of course, who's to say anything that they did could live up to 40 years of waiting? But I definitely think it wasn't their best try by a long shot. So, well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process of making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you. But only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.